Woo! Alright everyone, what is up? This is Maze, and this is a P versus T. I am so excited to be bringing this game right now because that is my favorite matchup. And not only is it my favorite matchup, but it is between HuK and Softball. HuK is one of my favorite Protoss players, and the reason is because I saw him do a game on Steps of War where he basically mothership rushed. You can see it on Icy Cup TV, and if you're curious to see what I'm talking about. And yeah, he pretty much just blocked up his choke, got a couple sentries, defended against a push or whatever, and then just saved up his chrono boost up to 100 and did a mothership rush on the map where he he actually reached around all the way, and then he flew his mothership into his opponent's base and recalled his army like old school StarCraft 1 style with arbiters, and even recalled in a probe and started building in cannons there. It was just amazing to see, and that is why I love HuK. And then just after that, he's played tons of great games. So yeah, I'm gonna love to see what he's gonna be pulling off this game in this PvT. As I said, my favorite combo and a pretty good map for PvT. Short rush distance, so there's going to be a lot of aggression, lots of fun stuff to see. And yeah, so I have no idea anything about Softball. This is from the BlizzCon pack, so I guess he's a professional player, but I really have not heard of him before. Could be a Korean pro or something, could be playing another alias, I'm not sure. I just know his name is Softball for this game. So yeah, let's take a look at what HuK is doing. He is going his gateway and assimilator fairly quickly, so he is definitely going to be going for some sort of early tech, not going to be any kind of zealot push, and keeping this probe here, making sure he is not losing any life, and doing a great job denying the Terran player from getting this barracks earlier than he wants. So one SCV coming in right now to scout and see what HuK is doing. Orbital command coming up for the Terran players to see, as well as one Marine and Cybernetics core coming immediately. Are we going to see a zealot being pushed out? No, we're not. We're going to see Stalkers coming out immediately right after the core is done. Sometimes what's nice to see in a PvT on a small map like this is that the Protoss player can actually chrono boost out a Stalker and a Zealot, or Zealot and then a Stalker pretty quickly, and if the Terran player doesn't scout it in time to build a bunker, then it can pretty much almost be GG right there, because all the Terran player is going to have at that point are going to be Marines. So sometimes that can be a very effective strategy, but Softball right now is keeping this SCV out here to see if something like that is going to be happening, but I guess not. He is chrono boosting out that Stalker, however, so might we still see some kind of push? The trick would be to make sure that the Terran player doesn't see it in time and get that bunker up, as I was saying. So HuK right now is going for the Cybernetics, for this Warp Gate Cybercore build along with a Stalker. Nothing too fancy schmancy going on right now. And building his pylons on the side of the map, you see a lot of pros do that so that they can actually get good vision to see if a dropship is coming in, or if, you know, someone might be building something here, like if it's another Protoss, that there might be a proxy or whatever. But yeah, that's why I usually see pros build on the outside of edges, like over here. And I've actually started doing that as well, and it's kind of nice because also for Nidus Swarm, it's great. You know exactly where everything is in your base. Just take a peek at your mini map to see what's going on. HuK actually going for a fast expansion. Not sure how I feel about this. The Terran player is definitely going to have a pretty decent bio army right here. He's getting his Marauders, he's getting Reactor Marines, and what I assume is going to be siege tanks. Or maybe he'll lift off and start pumping out Hellions to counter Zealots, but I would probably get siege tanks before anything else. So the probe is coming out across the map right now to see what he might be expecting from the Terran player, and I think the hardest part in PvT early game for the Protoss player is actually how do you deal with a well-timed push from the Bile Ball. And I guess this is kind of the step down for that, where he's actually just supplementing that with SCVs and going in for a time push right now, because he saw that HuK is going for that expansion, so he knows that the army size is going to be a little bit dwindled for the Protoss player, and HuK actually canceling his Nexus. HuK has canceled his Nexus, so he didn't want to fight there. He thought he was going to lose that battle. I thought he had a pretty decent shot, but actually maybe not. That is a lot of Marines. HuK definitely would have. I think he could have held on. He's got the warp gates up. He could have warped in, but maybe he was just a little too scared. He has that shield. He is going to be able to snipe out a Marine and an SCV. That is about it. I think really he is just sort of delaying right now. Yeah, he is supply capped, so That's why he didn't think he would be able to hold that Nexus. So he could have potentially lost his army and a Nexus there as well. But he decided to hold back instead. And going a 3-gate robo build, and this is actually pretty crucial, in my opinion, in a PvT, because what the Terran player can do is it can deny the Protoss player scouting so easily. All you really need to do is keep one Marine up here, and it'll be almost impossible to see into the base. So what you need to do as a Protoss player is get that observer out as quick as you can, and in order to scout to see, you know, what is he going. Might he be getting Banshees? What kind of composition should you expect? Maybe you should switch to High Templar or something, or you need to go Immortal heavy if he's going to Factory. You know, those kind of things are really important. So that's why I kind of prefer this 3-gate robo build that HuK is going right here. And he's actually going straight for Robotics Bay, and he actually feels pretty comfortable not needing to scout the Terran players. So I think he's just going to go straight for a Colossus pump right here once he gets that up. I think HuK is going to be able to get his expansion down around the same time. Looks like it'll be a little bit slower. Might he even... I think he's just securing for a triple expansion soon, so he doesn't have to worry about that later. So he's breaking out these rocks right here, keeping this probe out to scout, and here's a little Bioball and Medevac coming through, and I think HuK will be pretty okay if the Terran player decides to push. However, that Colossus is not going to be out anytime soon. They take an eternity to build, take forever, 75 seconds, so with Chrono Boost, if you have that down the entire time, you know, that's going to be 32.5 seconds. So it'll still take a while, even if you have full Chrono Boost on there. It's about as much as building in a regular Zealot. So the Nexus is almost up. This is actually up for softball right here. And let's take a look at the production. Let's see what's happening here. Stimpack is going right now. Nexus is almost complete. Colossus is out. I think that softball is going to be in a really tough spot. He should be scouting for the tech that HuK is going for. I'm not sure if he sees it. No, he just sees a robotics facility. He did not see what HuK is getting in terms of that robo facility. So maybe he is expecting Colossus, in which he should be getting something to try to counter it. Honestly, bio against Colossus is not that great, especially early game, because they'll just eat up all of your Marines, and then you've got HuK has a sizable amount of Zealots and Stalkers to deal with the rest of the Marauders and whatever units are left over. So I think HuK is in an excellent position right now. He does not, however, have the range upgrade yet. He's not upgrading that anytime soon. He's getting that second Colossus out immediately. I think his hopes for the beginning of the game was that he was going to try to get this second expansion, get that gas going, get the Thermal Lance, and get all the upgrades that he wanted for the push. But I think he's going to be waiting on that for right now. Let's take a look at what the Terran player is doing. So he has spotted the Colossus, I assume, since he's got this Viking out here. There'd really be no other reason except for maybe potentially scouting. But HuK is in a good spot right now. I think he is in a good spot to push out. There are no tanks. He can really do a lot of move and fire technique if he wanted to. You just got to be careful not to lose too many Zealots on that push. But he's got those Colossus, so it's going to be really tough for the Bioball to deal with whatever HuK's got. And here comes the Protoss player moving back a little bit, losing one Zealot on that push. And great force fields by HuK, trapping the Terran player right there. And oh my god, Softball just got destroyed. He did not even stand a chance. Great force fields there by HuK. He completely decimated at least half of Softball's army. So I love that. Those sentries have just been chilling, gaining energy this entire game, and they just used it all right there very, very effectively. HuK has got to worry about not to lose these Colossus, but he does have a good amount of Stalkers right here, and SCV is actually going on this bunker right now. These Colossus should be trying to focus on those SCVs, but I think right now HuK should be backing off. He's going to lose one Colossus. He might lose the second one. The second Colossus is so close to going down. HuK is retreating. Another Colossus coming in here right now. So Softball actually doing a decent job defending there, just barely hanging on. Those SCVs definitely saved him. A little bit of miss micro from HuK, not taking down those SCVs in time. I think if he really focused on that, he would have been able to get these bunkers down, as really Softball would not have had much to deal with that. Looking in what in the production tab is coming up, there is still Colossus for HuK and whatever gateway units he wants to build, and we see a Nexus is coming down, so HuK is trying to secure this game as much as possible, even building 2 rogue pylons out here. I'm not sure why he wants 2, maybe one for this ledge right here to warp in, and then one just in case, I don't know, but he's got 2 right there. And he's got really full map control right now. He's got the Zone like a Watchtower. He's got the Zone like a Watchtower here with a pylon. And the Terran player, I think right now, is still licking his wounds from the battle. He doesn't look like he's recovered at all. So I would really be surprised to see what Softball is going to do against these Colossus. He's going to need a lot more Vikings. I'm not sure why his army size seems so small in comparison. Maybe he's just done a poor job saturating his natural fast enough. HuK has had this saturating up. He's got another expansion coming on the way. But maybe it could have just been the fact that, I mean, I feel like they had a pretty equal exchange. I guess not. Something's being lost right here. Pylons, and oh no, another Stalker being lost in that. HuK sees these forces, and this is pretty much a freebie. Happy Halloween for HuK, taking that medevac down almost, and actually those units were able to get away. I don't think any of those Colossus got kills. This Hero Colossus back from the other battle. I'm so surprised this guy did not fall. Softball coming in for a push. It looks like he's going to be going for strike taxes right here. I don't think Softball feels comfortable enough to go head-to-head with HuK because of those Colossus and those force fields. I think that he's going to need to do some strategic microing around the map, keeping HuK on his toes and away from his base. I think that's really going to be his best strategy here right now if Softball is going to be able to take on this force. Right now, resources lost are pretty even, but I don't think that Softball is going to be able to do much right here. Not even worth it to go on here because the Colossus will be able to reach that fairly easily. Softball actually pushing out across the map right now. I don't think this is the right decision. I don't think he should be trying to engage a head-to-head confrontation. He should be harassing like he does with his medevac. He should be going here. He should be going in all different directions and trying to avoid HuK's army as much as possible. Well, right now, HuK has 5 Colossus. Just an intense amount of high-tech units here. And I don't think these guys are going to stand a chance at all. 2 medevacs, or 2 Marauders were able to get into the medevac. Softball now moving in, and I think they're going to be looking for a head-to-head confrontation right here, but I don't think Softball's going to have a chance. He should be trying to whittle down some of these forces. And here's a big battle coming in right now. Shields going down from these sentries, and Colossus are supporting this army very heavily. Slow-moving Zealots trying to engage in this position. Good micro by Softball, trying to take on as many of these Zealots as he can so that these Colossus would remain exposed and weak to any other frontal assault, but I don't think that Softball has enough to take this force on right now. He is retreating back to his base. He doesn't have that many medevacs. He has 1 more force back here. He should be trying to do something, maybe flank some of these Colossuses, or Colossi. I'm not sure what Softball is going to be able to do right here, but he should be doing a dual-prong attack regardless. And here is HuK right now. He might be able to snipe down one of these Colossus, might be able to get some good positioning. He is splitting up this army fairly well, but now the Colossus are in position with that Thermal Lance upgrade. I don't think Softball is going to be able to take care of this, and that is the GG. HuK going Colossus, going a fairly fast expansion, securing the map pretty much the entire time, the clear victor here. I am surprised that Softball didn't try to do anything else. I really think Thors or some other mech unit, maybe even Mass Vikings with Marauders would have been the place to go. I feel like Marines are pretty much null and void right here. Maybe, you know, you could just get some if you have excess minerals, but against 5 Colossus, you should not be getting any Marines at all, and he really should have been pumping out Vikings. I really am wondering just how Softball had such small forces. He committed to this bio build, which I think is a mistake. I don't know why you would get more than 2 or 3 Raxes once you see the other player is going Colossus. Really, I mean, you saw just 2 Vikings were able to do that much damage in a battle where they were severely undermanned. And if he was able to get some good micro around along the map and harass these Colossus, Vikings just have so much range, they'd be able to whittle them down with some good micro, and then along with some drops in this base and some drops in this expansion, maybe potentially here depending on where HuK's army is, I think Softball could have pulled off a victory, but he just didn't do any of those things or what he needed to do correctly in my opinion, and that's why I think HuK was the clear victor here. Alright guys, so there is at least 1 more game in this series. I'll be posting that up probably tomorrow sometime or wherever I get the chance. I'm definitely going to be trying to average, you know, once a day or once every 2 days because casting is fun. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, or else. Just kidding, but seriously. Just kidding. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys. I'm not going to use that line. Peace. Won't steal that line. Testing my pants, testing my pants, testy, testy, testing my pants, testing my pants, yeah!